Ooh.
How you doing?
What up?
Hi, my friends. How are you guys?
We're good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I need to tell my friends on my thing that I'm over here. Let me tell them. Hold on. Oh, well, damn. Well, hi, numbers.
Yeah, they shut up.
They know you here.
How the hell that happened?
They got people. A lot of people have on the their updates, so they see it when you go live. It just kind of
Damn, that was crazy. How you guys doing?
We're good.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying?
Oh my
the
god.
new baby?
Oh.
Can you believe it? It's both of us at the same time.
I know. How crazy is that? Y'all friends and shit? Oh my god.
I know.
I love that all my people, like all my friends and everybody, like as I've worked with people, like everybody kind of like makes friends with each other, and as time progresses, people have like, you know, they begin to, like, they work with each other and then kind of work off of each other and all of that stuff. I love all the unity that happens when with you know, just with our industry, and the more and more that it happens. So, but it's always got to be, you know, the good people, but attract good people, you know, like a magnet.
I believe the energy. Yeah.
So thank you, CJ.
You know he in here cutting up.
Should
you
we
know
start
he in
that?
here. So,
creative genius, for all these introductions. We love you.
Literally.
I can't take the credit for this. I appreciate it. I'm happy I mentioned the both of you guys.
absolutely.
Hi.
So, Tina,
What's up?
I mean, break it down. I know the people out here, they have been so excited since we, you know, told them that we'll be talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people love you, know you, but you know, you stay to yourself. You don't be with the shit. You know, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't beat the streets like that. You know what I'm saying?
No, not these days. I slowed it down a little.
Right, because you got a new baby.
I do. I have a new baby. My baby just turned 4 months old.
Nice.
And of course, you know, due to quarantine, nobody's been in the streets. But before that, I think I was practicing quarantine for a while, because compared to Tina's turn up that you guys know, my ass was pretty much just like working a lot, and then a little bit more home life, which was nice. It's been a nice change, because you need to have those different, you know, levels of life, so you're not doing the same thing all the time. So, but life is good. I can't complain. Got through this damn quarantine. Of course, it's still happening, but we're almost there. And it's good. Got a good man. And I'm ready for the summer.
Hot girl summer.
Hot girl summer time.
I might have to get a hot girl summer, because I'm telling you, it's like been so up. It's been like, you know, this being home and just having to stay home. You know, you learn things that you want to like do when you get out. You're like, oh, I want to, even though I don't want to do hot girl summer, but hot girl summer has many. It has many definitions. I don't say it's just that one thing of just like crazy, wild single girl life. It's more for me. I'm like, I want to just be on a beach. I want to get to the beach. I want to like enjoy. I would do the things that I have with me, but let's go to the beach. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, things you may have taken for granted before quarantine, where it's like, dang, I should have taken advantage of that.
But you know, I take advantage of pretty much every opportunity, so I can't say there's anything I regret not doing.
Good.
I will. I said maybe next year I'll do it like another girls trip. I'm sure Matt can use a guy's trip or something, but that'll be fun to do something like that again, you know, in this lifetime.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So we wanted to go, you know, dig in with you, Tina, just about like your experiences, you know, being the mogul that you are, and just having to weave through the process of like glam. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've spent a ton of your life in glam.
Yes, I have.
So, growing up, who was some of your like style inspirations and glam icons? Like, who did you look up to?
Well, I'm an 80s baby, so many of the people I looked up to in the times that I paid more attention to fashion were in the 90s. So I really looked up to people like, I loved Janet, and I loved like Madonna. Madonna was always changing like her style and changing her music. I feel like she really like put a stamp onto her sexuality and her ownership of being a woman, and that came along with like, you know, the clothing, the suits, and like remember that Vogue video, and she popped up and she had the pointy, you know, the pointy bra and stuff. Like, I love the ownership of her femininity that that like really attracted me when I was younger. And same thing with Janet, like her body killed it, of course, but like back then it was a lot of like alternative like jeans, ripped jeans, and you got the, you know, the plaid shirts wrapped around the waist. I still wear all that stuff to this day.
You do.
But I'm kind of like a, you know, when it comes to fashion, I like things that are doable, you know, stuff that I can do often, and like mix it up with like a little bit of a fashion of like a designer or something like that. Because I think anything could be a statement of your own as long as you're expressing your personality. But yeah, I'd say Madonna. I'd say Janet Jackson, Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez, when she really started to hit, like, and she just killed the game. Like the body, the every designer, everything that she wore just looked banging, and it still does. Like this woman does not. She won't lose. She won't nothing. She stays on point 1,000%, 24/7 since I can remember, since the Fly Girl days back in Living Color. Like I remember she stood out like that. So I think it's just her aura and who she is. Some people just have that, and she's one of those people. So I think those are my people I really like looked up to. Gwen Stefani was really dope when I started to get a little older. I just loved her. Just her, yeah. Her whole style and her swag was just so dope, and it's kind of still defined exactly who she is with the plaids and like, you know, the midriff and a little bit of that like it was kind of like what they call ska. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of ska, but it's like an LA, Orange County. It's like a type of music out here. It's not alternative music, but ska music is really popular here in LA. So back in the day, not anymore, but she kind of dressed in that style, and she kind of made music like that too. So yeah, those are my people.
So when you were coming up and you were able to put together your own glam team,
oh my gosh,
what was that process like?
Oh my gosh, I can still remember it like it's yesterday, because it was like when you're able to put your glam team together, like that's when like it's all coming. Your dreams are becoming reality. Like when they're asking you, what do you want to do? Who do you want to hire? And they're providing you all these books of like resumes, of photo books, of photographers, makeup artists, stylists. Like I was in seventh heaven the day that happened. So for me, when I first started, it was when I was signed to Island Def Jam, and my product manager, Shanita Floyd. Hi, Shanita. I know you're on here, probably, maybe, but Shanita was the shit. And Shanita, she handed me the book. She handled a couple different artists at the time. So Island Def Jam mostly handled hip hop artists, but they had people like Foxy Brown, and they had all those different people at the label. But nobody really had like a pop artist like me until I got on the scene over there. So it introduced them to other like makeup artists and different people they weren't used to working with. So it was kind of fun for both of us. But my first photo shoot that I did, Andrea Lieberman was my stylist. And she's also Gwen Stefani's stylist. She's bomb. She killed it. Like if you look back on my first album, I had like socks and heels, and I did stripes. It's very like visually, it kind of is a reminder of maybe a little bit of Gwen.
Yeah.
But it was young, 18 years old, fresh, hats and, you know, jewelry and body jewelry, and it was pretty fly. I got chills thinking about it. And then I was able to hire like my own makeup team too for that shoot. And I got Tim, and Tim is the one, he does makeup for Janet Jackson. So, you know, I got all my people. I got like the people I mentioned earlier that were the people that I loved. They got me those people to help me like coordinate my look. So you can just imagine how that feeling of just like being in my shoes and at that time and just being like, wow, this is really coming true. This is really happening.
Like you made it.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I felt. And I was like, I mean, this is just the beginning. So it was pretty incredible working with them. And then later on, I had some great people. I mean, throughout the years, I've pretty much gotten to work with all the great stylists, including you guys, some amazing makeup artists, as well as and hairstylists. For a long time, I was working with Autumn Moultrie and Randy Stodgel. They were my team for hair and makeup forever. And we still, like, we stay in touch and everything. I love them. But they helped me with my look from, like, most of, like, from Between Me and You with Ja Rule all the way through, like, to Dip It Low years.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So it was exciting. Anybody who's becoming an artist and wants to be an artist knows that feeling that I'm talking about. It's like dressing up for the prom, and I never had the prom. So
you never went to prom?
No, I never went to prom.
What were you? You were
on the road.
I was working, boo boo. I said, hit the check. Later, prom. I'm good.
So Tina, you debuted at like. During your debut, it was such a different time. Like everything, so much has changed over and over again. What were some what's some of the things that you miss from that era? Man. What are some of the things that, if you could change some things now, what would you change them to?
Okay, first off, when I first signed back in the day, at that time, the labels had the best parties. The record labels had the best parties. Like, you got invited to your record label's party, and I had Def Jam. So Def Jam, you know, we had all the artists. Yeah. So like going to a Def Jam party was like going to a big family reunion, because we were like a team. Like everybody, like from Julie Greenwald to Leor Cohen to like everybody who worked at the label, like we were like squatted up, like everybody. And then like anybody who came to the party was like, okay, cool, you know. But the parties were the absolute best, and being an artist at one of those parties, and people like, you know, the radio stations and you know, shaking hands with all the different people that you had to shake hands with that are helping you build your career. Like, I don't know, it was just like a really dope feeling. The music was the best. I mean, Jay-Z, and you got oh gosh, I mean, I'm not even just gonna name my label, but literally like that's Nelly and Jay-Z and Ja Rule and all this great music that's playing at that time in the early 2000s. I just feel like it was the height of like hip hop mainstream, not the height of, but it was like this great prime time of like mainstream hip hop. And I mean, even in the 90s, you have Puffy, everybody, but I just feel like because I lived it, and within that time, I was like, there's nothing like this.
Yeah. So like a family.
I think for back then, I miss like those kind of parties. I don't feel like it's exactly the same anymore, because there's so many turnarounds and changes in the record labels. It's like, it's not the same. There's like, people aren't, you know, they're loyal to where they are, but they might be tomorrow, you know, at some streaming service, or they might be someplace else, you know? And then just the radio, you know, I miss TRL and making videos, knowing that it was going to play on TRL, and people were going to vote for your video to be there in the top 10. And like the labels would spend so much money on these videos. Like my videos were at least $500,000 for, you know, each of my videos. And
now it's hard to even get a quarter of that sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I've done videos for $4,000 these days. I won't even front. It's like a pin on it, you know. So, you know, spending that kind of money, and it was at the height of that time, and that money was available. I don't think it's necessary, but at that time it made sense, because you're competing with videos that are like Missy Elliott videos and Pink, and you've got you know, Destiny's Child videos and Shakira, and all these people are on, and all the Backstreet Boys and Britney Spears. Like your video better be good if you want it to be on TV.
Yeah, for sure.
So I do miss the days of watching videos on television and TRL and that energy. Like I feel like, you know, you get that now more in festivals and stuff like that, as far as like the energy of people being there. But the making a music video, it's neither here nor there these days. Sometimes you don't even see it, but you still love the songs.
Right. Yeah. I feel like music videos are kind of what catapult artists into like iconic. Like when you think about Dip It Low video. Woo.
Oh
like,
man.
Woo! You know, I mean, but like legit, you were that girl.
Yeah.
Like you were the girl.
You were the girl.
It's so crazy.
And so like music videos can literally take your song from just being a song until it's like number one.
No, you're right. That video definitely did that for that song. Because the song was a great song. I already knew the song was going to be a hit. To me, I was like, when I did it and I recorded, I was like, I found my single. Because it took me a while to find a single for that album. It took like a year. And when I found it, I was like, this is it. And I was not going to let that song I was not going to do it wrong. So for that video, we actually got Frank Gatson. He was the choreographer.
Yep.
So, I mean, Frank Gatson, he helped think of the vision of what it was, from the death drop, you know, I'm doing a dip straight up in the video, to the paint, you know, paint all over my body and painting on the
canvas,
body painting on the canvas.
Yeah, it was
just living. That was Frank Gatson. And the director too. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna kill myself for not. I gotta hit myself in the head for not remembering the director. He directed TLC No Scrubs. So.
Oh, was it
was it Jake? Oh darn it!
Not Jake Nava.
Not Jake
TLC
Nava.
No Scrubs. Was it Anthony?
No, dang it! You know I'm gonna tell you in a second. I should. I'm so wrong for this.
No,
but he's a photographer actually, and he's a fantastic photographer. Great visuals that he did on this video, and it's always going to be iconic. But that video, I'm telling you, really pushed the song for sure.
Yeah.
And because at that time, even my label was having a transition. It was going from Leo Cohen to L.A. Reid.
Matthew Ralston.
Hype Williams. Oops, I'm wrong. Hype Williams and No Scrubs. I'm so wrong.
It's Matthew
Ralston. It was
Ralston.
the makeup artist and hairstylist from No Scrubs who did me for Dip It Low. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Hype. I wasn't trying to give somebody else your credit.
Matthew Ralston.
I'll figure out who it was. I forgot. It's been a while.
It was Matthew Ralston.
Matthew Ralston. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Matthew Ralston. My sister. That's exactly who it was. Yes, he did me.
That video, yeah, I watch it all the time to this day.
Do you?
Like,
I still have friends. They send me videos of themselves at the club or wherever, just at home and stuff. Just listen to the song or watch the video.
It goes down. Like when it comes on, everyone knows the intro. Like you do that good.
I never would have known that it would last this long. And you know what's so crazy too? Back then, when the video came out, BET banned it. Like they wouldn't play it on BET.
Wow, really?
They said it was too sexy, yeah. And then they let me play it at then they played it from 10 p.m. on. They wouldn't play it during the day. But what's crazy is they had all these hip hop videos with these girls shaking their asses and everything during the day, playing in all the videos. So it was a different time. You know, I had to definitely pay my dues as a woman to stay in the game and to be up there and stuff. It was work to get my foot in there. But we eventually cracked the code and the song did its own thing. They had to play the video during the day. So hey, we got it.
So from back then, how important is development and artist development to get to that level to where things just crack for you? Because now we just feel like if you lit on Instagram, it kind of works. Like that's the code now. But back then, I know it was different. So how important? How do you feel? What's so important about when you debut versus now?
Well, artist development was definitely key to everything. I mean, you couldn't really get a deal if you weren't really developed, I had the basics of development, but somehow they felt they saw a star when I walked in. I came in and impressed them when I came in. But after that, actually developing, and when I signed my deal, I mean, I had everything from media training to, now you got social media, you can forget about it.
Yeah.
People need media training for social media.
Yeah.
I had media training. I had hours and hours and sometimes a whole month ahead of actually training just for my music videos and dancing for my shows and stuff. I was working with Brian Friedman, the choreographer, and Johnny Wright used to be my manager. And so I was working down in Orlando and at the they have a spot that's just full of dance rooms. You have recording studios, and you go over there and you just train and you get ready as an artist. So I went out to Orlando for about a month. I went with my mom and I was doing dance training, and I had never been a dancer. So I definitely tell people, regardless of me dancing in videos, I wanted to dance and I wanted to be a dancer in my videos, but I never had training. So I had to go, learn how to move and loosen up and do all of that. So yeah, artist development was way different back then compared to now. Like you said, you can have a song hit off of TikTok,
Yeah, legit.
And I, good for them. It's good for everybody. But as far as longevity goes, I think it's important. And the people that really stand out are the people that really, really put some work into what they do. And really, if you love it, just like school, you got homework to do. do your homework and you can master it. So I think it's important if you can do that. That's why I'm not really even doing music right now. I don't have the time, and I don't believe in doing something halfway. So, eventually I'm sure maybe I'll want to again. But at this very moment, I think if I can't give it my all, I'm not going to half-ass it, So,
Absolutely.
so yeah, artist development, I think, you know, there's still a few people maybe now that have gotten it, but it's very rare. But I think those people will stand the test of time.
Yeah, I think that's what kind of sets people apart. The people who do the work.
Yeah, like look at Normani, like that girl. You can tell she puts in the work.
Yeah.
She was, you know, has the experience that she had even with the girl group. But even for that, I'm sure there was a lot of preparation. And from there, she's just a very professional girl. She's talented. She dances her ass off, she's a great role model. Like all of that stuff is really important. I think, you know, if you want to sell records and if you want to sell millions of records.
Legit.
Absolutely.
Legit.
So I want to ask you, stepping back into your creative realm and just your thought process. So before you're doing a project or stepping out the house, being dressed, by Casey, myself, whoever.
Hi.
What is your mind going through when you say, okay, I don't feel like wearing a dress today, but someone is dressing me and I got to get dressed? Like, what is that? How do you walk outside and dressed by someone else and say, I'm wearing this, I'm confident? Like, what is that mental like for you?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of trust involved. I mean, I feel like I won't leave the house in something I'm not comfortable in. Like, I will make it work. And sometimes you have to trust that maybe like your ideas, like you got to trust somebody else's vision sometimes too, because maybe they're directing you in a better direction for yourself and for your actual, like your vision, you know, and there's a bigger picture to the whole thing. For me, I think, first off, I'm comfortable in my own skin. So regardless, like, even if I know myself to dress one certain way, if I'm trying something new, the most important thing is for me to, you know, I gotta be feeling myself. And if the outfit's just not working, I'm not gonna do it that way. I'll go back in my closet and find something real quick. You guys know me. I'm like, if we don't have something that doesn't feel right, like I'm either gonna bring stuff that I feel like is a backup that I know we can work with, and you do your thing to it, or like I definitely, for me, like you guys bring enough options. I mean,
you know
the two of you, it's a limitless amount of options. So I've never had a problem with that. Yeah. Unless I just felt like being like rogue and being like, I want to do the opposite of everybody. And you're like, oh, okay, what are we going to do? And I'm like, okay, here, you know, because I do that. Sometimes I'm like, I just want to F it up. I want to F up this whole look and this idea. I want to do it different. Yeah. So, no, honestly, it's glamour. It's a glamorous feeling, regardless of what it is, like where you're going or how you're dressing. It's a glamorous feeling knowing somebody else is kind of like dressing you up like a doll.
And you're like carrying out their vision. You know,
yeah.
Like art.
And isn't it fun, like the next day seeing like, okay, where the picture, like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, where's this gonna land? Who talked about it? Like, what magazine?
It's also anxiety as well, though. Like we were just talking about that. Like, oh my God, like is everybody gonna love it?
Yes.
Speaking of that,
but that's like the best part, right? Don't we live for this?
No,
like,
it is. It is. It's the like people like seeing and putting their opinion to something you dreamed of. You know what I'm saying? You know, to see a vision come to life and it walks the carpet, walks the stage, or performs the stage.
Yeah, it's like our version of a single.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it's our debut.
Yeah, legit.
That's how I feel. Like all of us are living the same thing when this happens. It's not just about me. Like literally everybody from the makeup, hair, everybody is like, this is their thing, and we're all collaborating and putting it together, and we're watching it like come alive. Like we're all on our toes about this, so nobody's gonna give like that. Everyone's gonna give it their all because their name is attached to this, and it's exciting and it's fun.
Absolutely. If you could think off the top of your head a couple of your favorite style moments that you've had.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Okay, got it. The Grammys. Versace, Runway, 2004, I think, or 2005, one of the two.
I was a senior in high school.
Sorry, guys.
I was a freshman in high school.
You're like, what was it? I was nominated, and I had this beautiful, like, if what's that movie, Frozen? What's the girl who sings Frozen? What's the character?
Girl? Let It Go. The girl who sings Let It Go.
If she was a brown girl.
Elsa.
if you could say Elsa was a Cuban princess, that was me that day. I was dressed in this light blue, ice blue. Oh my gosh, dripping and diamonds, just everything. Like, ugh. Okay, so I remember that. That's always stood out for me. And then, man, in recent years, it's been a couple, but I'd say probably like music videos and stuff. Like, damn.
Music videos you really get to create and not be.
What about that run that we did? Like, remember that whole run? James, you were there when we did that run for oh gosh, Turned Up. Christina Milian Turned Up. We had this week, Casey. We were in New York.
Oh, in New York.
I got to meet you, Casey. And we were in New York, and I swear every look that we put on, and then with paparazzi was following us everywhere, and I was like, you know, premiering my show for the first time, and we were.
That was season one.
Season one. It was season one.
What was one of the looks?
One of the looks was an orange Millie dress with the Dolce lace boot.
Was it the off the shoulder orange?
Oh, that was the part of that run too. The off the shoulder orange to Wendy.
Yeah. Yes. Or there was also like this light suede kind of look that I had, like this snake skin kind of shoe.
Watch What Happens Live with
with
Cynthia.
Andy Cohen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that week, that whole like 3 days or whatever that was, and I was filming my show at the same time. That was a fly little like back to back. I kind of flash back to that all the time.
That was fun. That was our first time out the gate.
Yeah. Huh?
That was our first time out the gate.
You see?
Oh my gosh. It was. First time. But there have been so many. Like, that's the one that I was like, when you guys kind of mentioned you might ask me that question, I was like, damn, there's been so many things. This is too many. But the Grammys was the one that was like I always remember that one. And it was, you know, it was partial to also being nominated and stuff too. So
no, that's amazing. Those moments are what's supposed to, you know, stay true and
And that one, you know what, you posted also the one, I love that look. The one with the pant that had
the train.
The champagne, the bathtub,
the champagne train.
That's his favorite.
That's my favorite.
I walked in there, and let me tell you, everybody, I forgot what event that was, but it was like some higher ups that were in there. And everybody, like, it was like a showstopper. Like, everybody stopped in their tracks when they saw me in that one. That one was fly. Super fly.
So, since then, you've become more hands-on with fashion. Mm-hmm. You have House of Fine Gold. You did We Are Pop Culture.
Mm-hmm.
With House of Fine Gold, how are you guys... Like, how do you feel about the industry right now as it pertains to your business and fashion?
As far as like a jewelry line, I mean, that's kind of what I love about jewelry is it never gets old. It's never like the fashion statement of jewelry is like, I'm always going to stack my jewelry. I'm always going to save my jewelry. If it's the good stuff, that's why I decided to not make accessories and go with real like 14 karat gold stuff that people are going to rose gold,
invest in,
white gold, people that are going to, you know, you want to spend your money, you want to keep it, and you want to be able to actually show it off. You don't want your finger turning green. Don't get me wrong, I have accessories too, so I like to mix up my accessories. It's fun. But as far as like House of Fine Gold, we're doing just fine. You know, even I was really surprised. We tried not to sell to the people during quarantine because I personally didn't want to oversell to people because I feel bad. People are not necessarily working right now. But I was really surprised people were still buying online. They were buying their jewelry. So it actually did surprisingly well for not promoting it.
Wow.
So yeah, I guess, you know, people still, you know, jewelry makes people feel good. And I think for me, I'm the same way. Like, I need my hoops every day. I need my, like, you know, whatever necklace I've got on. I always have a necklace on. I like to stack my necklaces, when you put a little bit of extra, you know, effort into your outfits, by adding those little things, you can have a really basic outfit and something basic, and you can turn it out just by doing that. So that's why I wanted to do jewelry, because I feel like I love making a statement with my jewelry. And the clothing line was fun back in the day when I did We Are Pop Culture. It was definitely more for the tween, like like a younger audience, and a little bit more like urban, I guess you would say. Kind of like the Baby Fat style.
No, it was like urban street styling.
Yes, urban, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I still dress like that, and I'm like that still to this day. But it definitely takes, I think with my partners and everything, we had to kind of like regroup and really figure out some new stuff to work on and stuff, and kind of restructure the business part. So that's what kind of like slowed that one down.
Oh, I think that's important to kind of, you put out a collection, and then you come back and you regroup and you think about, okay, when I bring it back out, how am I going to do it for the current time? It was a different time.
Absolutely, exactly. And it was fun. I opened my store back then.
It was on Melrose.
Yes, I shut down Melrose. And we really like threw a party and had a grand opening, and that was awesome. People performing. I premiered my music. Like, I made a real business out of the whole thing. It was fun.
So right now, we're counting 3 businesses, 4 almost. There's music, there's film, there is fine gold, and then there's We're Pop Culture.
Oh, well, yeah.
I have a beignet box. Beignets, don't forget the beignets.
And then you have beignet box and Viva Diva wine.
Viva Diva wine. So you got like 16.
I actually got rid of Viva Diva. Viva Diva was too much. It was too much.
It was a lot?
You know what it is? People with the actual industry of alcohol, dealing with licenses, and you have it's a heavy business to kind of be in. There's a lot of wines, there's a lot of different competition out there, and you have to get different people working in different territories. It's just a lot of work. It is. And as fun as it has been to be a part of, or to own my own wine business, kind of, you got to know where to keep investing your money or when to make it stop.
There you go. Smart.
And it was one of those, it was like, okay, this is something that I only know that I can get it to a certain point, and somebody else is going to have to take the reins from here. So that's where that ended. Someone else took the reins from it.
No, that's smart. That's really smart. And you know, being smart is a task. It's actually a talent. It's actually a talent. I'm sorry. Being smart is a talent, because you know, a lot of people, they want to do what they want to do, how they want to do it, and don't want to pay attention to the signs.
You
know, that can lead you.
Absolutely.
So for anybody that's watching out there today, anybody that wants to be a singer, an actress, a mogul, a business owner, entrepreneur, drop a few gems for them, because we're living in a really tough time right now, and everyone needs some light. Everyone needs some positivity, you know, pouring onto them. So what would be a Milian moment for all those people?
That was good.
You know, that was off the top too.
My next Instagram.
What would be a Milian moment for those people who are looking to, you know, people who look to you, who love you, and who looks to walk in the tracks that you've laid?
I think the most important thing, as far as a moment, or is to follow your dreams, follow your passion. To me, honestly, I have to believe it. I have to dream it. I have to taste it and want it so bad. And when I feel that, I'm going to give it my all. And no matter what, I mean, you're going to have your ups and downs. I've already just told you I have 2 businesses I no longer have. There's 2 other businesses that are thriving. You know, I'm writing my story. My story of life just continues, and I'm going to continue to learn. I'm going to continue to become a better business person. I'm going to you know, you learn the trials and the tribulations of life, and you use a lot of the things that happen in your personal life to reflect onto things that are happening that you can get inspired by in your business. Does that make sense? So,
yeah.
Be inspired by your own life. There you go. Don't be afraid to be your true self, to be vulnerable, to disappear for a while and be out of the crowd and just go into your own solitude and just become great at what you are doing. Everything else will come back. You can go back to party. You can celebrate, and hopefully you're celebrating about yourself later on, you know? But I think the most important thing is don't give up. We have so many options and so many opportunities now with the internet that we can actually reach people. We don't have to worry about newspapers, magazines, and all the other old school ways of methods. Like you can email friends, you can get you know, you got social media, you have all these opportunities in front of you. Don't be afraid to use them. So I don't think anybody's afraid to use it. Not these days. I'm not telling them something that they don't know. But start with your people. Your people should help you. Don't be afraid to ask for help or for people to support what you're doing, because it could start there. If you want to be a stylist, start styling your brothers and sisters. Start taking pictures of them or your friends. You know, you don't have to wait for a celebrity to come along, you know? So that's my 2 cents.
No, we appreciate it, and you dropped another word that has been, you know, floating amongst us for the past few weeks. Vulnerability, like, so important. So I'm glad that you said that. I think the universe is circulating that word for a lot of people to reach out and grab, because it's facts.
Yeah,
it's absolute facts.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's important for people to, you know, everyone's talking a lot about like, you know, about mental, not mental illness, but about mental health and stuff. A lot of that is stuff that we can reach within ourselves and recognize those things that we're like when we get anxious, and how we can use that energy, all of that stuff to fuel other things. And it's kind of a beautiful thing. So, you know, I'm a strong believer in being optimistic, and just kind of just also when I need to just like be free and just figure out like, what's my next passion? What's my dream? Where it all needs to start? Like, you got to sometimes just go back to the root of it, get quiet for a second and figure it out, and take some time. Just be patient. Be patient too. Everybody wants everything overnight too sometimes. So
be patient. Wow.
Patience is key. But
Nina, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you. We love you so much for like even believing in us. You know, the time that we have worked together, we look forward to doing it again whenever you need us.
Of course.
We should all do something.
Yeah,
we just said how we've never done you together.
We should do this, and we should do it on live, like you guys styling me.
Oh, there you have it.
That's cute.
Yes, an exclusive, baby. We'll pull up.
Hey.
We'll talk about that offline.
Okay. Let's figure it out.
We love you, Tina, and thank you again for tuning in with us. This was great.
Much love. I love you guys.
Absolutely. Stay safe. Kiss the baby.
For all the beautiful looks you put on me. I love them. I appreciate you guys and your energy and your talent.
You're so welcome.
Wait, real quick. My mother actually gave us the idea to talk to you this week.
She did.
Oh,
she
really?
said,
yes.
Well, Mom,
she said y'all should call Christina and make it happen, and we did.
Our moms are always. You always got to listen to Mama. Maybe that's the other thing I should tell everybody. Listen to your mom.
And make sure you tell your mom we said hi.
I'll tell her. I'm here at her house. I'll tell her.
Okay. Awesome.
I love you.
Be easy. We love you, and we'll text you.
Y'all take care.
You too.
Later.
I don't know how to leave. All right, bye.